Good morning. My name is Richard Candia, and this is the South Dade Shoutout, brought to you by the South Dade Chamber of Commerce. This is where we bring members of the community to come talk to you about how and why they work here and live here in South Dade community. And today we're going to talk about the upcoming event, the State of South Dade. It is our seminal event, the yearly event, and it is a big deal. I'm really excited to talk about it with you guys today. We are joined by Lisa Greer, the chair of the EDC of South Dade, the Economic Development Council of South Dade, and by our leader, Ken Ross, the chair of the South Dade Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
This is a friendly group. We're gonna take care of business today.
Absolutely.
Let's start with the basics. Can you please give me a quick introduction of yourselves and what you do, Lisa?
Okay. Well, Lisa Greer, you mentioned I'm the chair of the Economic Development Council of South Miami-Dade. By day, I'm also a first vice president and commercial lender for South State Bank. Very proud of that. Been with them for 22 years.
Yes. Ken, what do you do by day?
I am Ken Ross. I am a author, a content creator. I have an IT background. I'm also a business consultant that specializes in cost reduction for businesses. Love to be here. And I'm currently the chair, right? Like you said,
Yes,
of the Chamber of Commerce.
And a small business owner.
Yes, absolutely.
Lisa, your history with the South Dade community is legendary. You know, you're everywhere. Everybody knows who you are. From your perspective, how important is this upcoming event to the general community?
Oh, my goodness. So the state of South Dade speaks of collaboration, right? Because it's all about pulling the entire South Dade community together, the leadership of the entire South Dade community together. Much like the EDC collaborates with the South Dade Chamber of Commerce, this is all about communication, collaboration. So that's the first thing I think of when I think of State of South Dade. Mm-hmm. It is iconic.
Well, Ken, during your chairmanship, you've worked on trying to enhance, let the membership know the value of the chamber to them. So how does this? That's okay. How does this event, help you promote that message?
I want to kind of add to what Lisa was saying. This event is not like any event of its kind. I mean, you could talk about all the different types of events in Florida, in Miami-Dade County in Florida. You're never going to see an event of this size where you have all the municipal mayors from 5 different cities coming together and doing something. So it's something I think that highlights what our chamber is about, and that's collaboration together as a community of business owners, as well as a community of towns, because I believe all of these cities really want to invest the best that they can into this community and want to build it correctly. That's something that you're not going to see too often.
No, and you've also, this event and the chamber and the EDC have also helped foster a really great working relationship with our county commissioners who have a large footprint in our area. Lisa, both the EDC and the chamber, we value attracting, and our goal is to attract businesses and jobs to our community. So, and I think I'm going to be redundant with this question. How does this event help in that goal?
I think it's huge when people look to the South Miami-Dade County communities for possible business relocation, business expansion, business opening. This event gives them the perfect venue and opportunity to know what's going on, because what happens in one community is going to spill over and affect another community. So to be able to learn about Miami-Dade County's unincorporated area, and as Ken mentioned, the 5 municipalities and our school board all in one place, you get all the information that you need about why you would want to be here, why you would want to work here, why you would want to set up shop here. Yeah.
Before we go on, I want to make sure that the viewership knows we have a QR code, right, Alex? Yep. Let me see. Here. Nope. Here.
On the other side.
we practiced this and it didn't work. The QR code, please click on that. There's registration information, and on the bottom of the screen, we're gonna scroll the contact information for the chamber. We urge you, please reach out and sign up. Ken, what message do you want to give to a small business owner who might feel that an event like this is probably too big for them. In other words, these decision makers are going to be talking about stuff that have no relationship to me. What would you say to them that kind of convince them that no, that's not the case?
Yeah, I think to kind of steal a little bit of Lisa's thunder, you can't discount what is going on here and say it doesn't affect you. It has a direct effect on you, has a direct effect on your business, all of your partnerships. I'm an avid networker. I mean, I do this a lot because I'm a business consultant, and there's never a crowd that's too big, and never an audience that you never want to be around. You want to understand all the different facets of business. And I feel like this event is an opportunity for any person. And I've told a lot of people already, this is an opportunity for any person to really understand what's going on in South Dade. And you don't have to go very far, because you're going to have all of these mayors, you're going to have all of these people that are going to give you information that directly affect your bottom line.
I like to feel that this event also kind of highlights we are a big place, but we're still like a town, like a community. Everybody's reachable, everybody's approachable, right? So I love that you don't take off your consultant hat. You're like, hey, networking is great. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you can go and talk to Mayor Cava. You can talk to Mayor Mirbot. You can, it's a great opportunity. Okay, so this is for either one of you. What is a takeaway that you would like to see someone get from who is not from South Dade? Okay, we're trying to attract businesses and investors to South Dade. So from somebody that's not from South Dade and finds themselves at this event, what's a takeaway that you think they should get from witnessing this event that may help them decide?
From my perspective, and I'm gonna start by saying the people who live and work here that have been to this event walk away with a wow experience. I would expect the same thing from someone who does not live or work in these communities, to walk away going, wow, you've got all this collaboration, all this partnership among these municipalities in the county, and I've learned so much about this entire area that contains 600,000 plus residents and 25,000 businesses or something of that nature. It's a wow factor. So I think that's what I'd like to see others take away from it.
On the same question, Ken, you're going to have just to give a little more dressing to the question. You have the county commissioners. This is the brag fest. County commissioner is going to say, we see this need and we're going to try to address it by this way.
Right.
You've got the cities, and at your chat the other day, yesterday we had Cutler Bay there, and the cities are saying we are trying to do this for our citizens.
Right.
So again, same question. If I'm from the outside, what's my takeaway going to be, and how do you as a chamber person try to?
I really can't steal Lisa's thunder more. I want to add to it a little bit, though.
Just talking to Lisa.
No, I feel well. See, and to be honest, I'm a pretty humble guy, right? I come from the Midwest, where a lot of folks, it is about building relationships. It is about this smaller town mentality. So I hate to try to upshadow anyone, right? In some sense, I'm going to add to the narrative, though, and that is, I want to see people be inspired. I want to see people from other places say, why can't we have the same thing? Why can't another chamber in my area organize and arrange an event such of this magnitude? I feel like we've really raised the bar this year, and I said it when talking and planning this. We have to have that wow factor, and we have had it year after year, because we've always tried to raise the bar on this event. And I feel like, for myself, this is one of the most I want to say intimidating events for me. I want to execute it very well, and I want people to realize the importance of it, which is why I want to make sure we spend all the necessary time to make sure that is the way it's going to be. I don't half step anything.
You guys got to, again, QR code, scroll the information out.
If you're not,
you got to be there.
Inspired to come. I want you to come, but you don't have to. You can.
So let's look at all the different facets that we have in South Dade, Lisa. The importance of the agricultural economy in South Dade.
Yeah, I don't think people understand how still large the agricultural community is, because when people think agriculture, they think row crop farming, and there is still row crop farming. Consider, we came here today in high 60-degree weather. It's going to be low 70s, low 80s today this week.
Yeah.
where else in our country can you grow during the winter months the kind of fruits and vegetables that we have? So it's not just row crop farming, it's nurseries and tree farms and ornamentals and floral. And, it is a huge part of our economy. I was reading just recently, there's two numbers that stick in my head. First of all, the state of Florida, and this may be a few years old, but the state of Florida's economic impact from agriculture alone is in excess of almost $8 billion. Miami-Dade County contributes anywhere from $1.6 billion to $3 billion of that annually. That's a huge industry.
Yeah.
That's something to really be proud of.
I joke, not a good joke, of how part of the education that we have to give to people. When I say outside people, it's people that live in Dade County who just may not venture down south, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you brought somebody like, hey, look at this, and it looks like your Midwest town. It doesn't look anything like what Miami, what they think Miami looks like.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback on what you're saying, one of the things I admire about this area is something that I've always had in my upbringing in Nebraska. I was born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska. There is a huge diversity of economic growth, not just in the agricultural space, not just in the businesses that you see in the high rises in Dade County, but we have quite a cultural diversity as well as a educational diversity, a lot of different knowledge here. It's something I'm very much aware of, and one of the reasons why I want to continue to invest in this community, because I feel like it's a need.
So I'm going to piggyback on that. In your term as chair so far, what are some of the questions and concerns that small business owners have come to you with that may be touched on in this State of South Dade event on Thursday?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest complaints most people have in South Dade is that it's a bedroom community, right? A lot of folks come here, they stay here, and then they drive up north and they work here. I think what you're going to hear a lot of our municipal leaders say is we want to spur economic growth in this area so that people don't have to travel so far to work, that people can grow a business and can do commerce in this area, that we can have the same type of experiences. And this is something I know District 9 Commissioner McGee has talked about a lot, having the same type of events you see up there.
Okay, and we're gonna now you're borderline stealing my thunder.
Okay.
Down,
well,
so we're almost there.
Rich, this is your show, so you go ahead.
By the way, I can't believe we've gone this far and haven't said a couple of important things. The date of the State of South Dade is Thursday, February 29th.
Yep.
Yes.
Door at the Moss Center in Cutler Bay.
Yes.
Doors open at 8 o'clock. Registration information is on the QR code over here, and things are going to be scrolling on the bottom when Alex does that for us. Let's brag a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's brag about what the Chamber and the EDC have done. I got my glasses on for this. In the last 18 months, we have had a navigator grant that allowed us to provide basic life skill training, business life skill training to small businesses all along our service area. We hosted joint presentations by Miami-Dade County and the school board to help small and minority-owned businesses get a piece of that huge expenditure budgets that both institutions have, among the biggest in the country.
Certifications.
We've had multiple new business grand openings, and that span the gamut of all of service businesses, restaurants and other types of things. Exciting partnerships with new members. The Miccosukee tribe comes to mind. They've just come in blazing because they've seen the value of being a member of the chamber.
As well as their openings, they've opened a lot of.
Opened up a lot of new things, right? So give me some reaction on these themes and any other events that come to mind for you.
I mean, I think it really just shows the partnership that we've always had here with the Chamber and the EDC, and what we want to continue to foster, right? Regardless of where policy or public opinion goes, we're always here to help the business owners as well as as most municipalities come together and grow and find this middle ground that we can prosper as a society in this area, in this community, because we're talking about a community that is growing constantly. Right. I think I heard the last State of South Dade we talked when we had Mayor Wallace up on stage. He says they're going to double in 18 months.
Right.
The population.
Right.
And if that is really the kind of growth rate we're talking about here, we do have to take advantage of the opportunity that we have to push forward with, hey, this is what this town needs. This is what we need here to better our community, to increased awareness, to getting more jobs in this area so that we can grow it. Correct. I feel like one of the things you mentioned, which we haven't really spoke specifically to, is the Amazon facilities. I think that is a win on all fronts. Yeah. That is something that at the State of South Dade, we're going to hear more about. I'm really excited, and I'm looking forward to hearing about that, because I feel like what better way to show the impact of this event than to show the economy and how it's going to grow and how we can increase jobs.
So these list of things that we've done in the last 18 months from a perspective of a banker, it shows capacity. As a banker, do you want to invest in a place like this?
Oh, as a banker,
right?
I love being involved in these type of events, being involved in the chamber, being involved in the EDC, because when my business customers come to me with a need or an idea or whatever, I'm already aware of what's going on in our community. So I can not only educate them, but I can help guide them and maybe connect them where they might not have otherwise been connected. So it makes, hopefully, me a more valuable banker, but then it makes them a more prepared business owner to move in the right direction and not just be running around in circles.
Yeah. And you know what? I asked the question in one way, and you answered
Sorry.
No, I love that, because one, the value of a member to be engaged with both the chamber and the EDC, but from the other side, someone who look at the outside and looking at all these lists of accomplishments, the capacity that our region has to do stuff, to do things. And we have this huge population that's consumer oriented. We've got skilled labor. We've got all kinds of things going on. So the State of South Dade, as Ken mentioned, has grown into a major event. The county mayor and the commissioners have been calling us since the end of last year, like, when is this going to be, right? Share some comments that you've heard from about previous year's events, Lisa.
So I think the kind of comments that I've heard, I mean, you mentioned the speakers, the commissioners, the mayor, the school board. They love this collaboration. They love to be able to share information about their respective areas. From the attendees, I've heard things like, well, I've only gone to this particular municipality's meetings. I've never really thought about what goes on 5 miles away. Although, like me, as a resident, my life revolves around the South Miami-Dade community. I live, work, play, pray, learn, all within these municipalities. So there's a lot more people out there like me that do the same thing. So they've been very pleased with the opportunity to learn, one-stop shop, everything that's going on in our communities.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. And I like that many times things that you hear, they reference back to the event, as was said in the State of South Dade. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
I'd like to comment on that as well. I'd like to give you an actual personal story about it, in the sense that one of our current board members, Max, who has a security and training facility, went to the State of South Dade last year, and it completely changed how his business and his trajectory went, because he not only did he get to meet relevant people that could help him grow his business, he understood the climate and the community to a point where now he serves on our board. And I really feel like that is a success story. That is to kind of answer the question we had talked about before, why you as a business owner cannot afford to say, this is an event that's too big for me, or I don't fit in this space. If you own a business, if you work in this community, you should be at this event if you can
fit.
make it. You deserve to be there.
Yeah, can we end this now, Alex? Because that was
Well, why'd you bring me here? Is that what you want me to do?
That was perfect.
Oh, okay.
By
No
the way,
worries.
Max, you'd be proud of Max. I've been with him at openings of things, and I've seen him just beeline to people and network his butt off. He's and ask for the business, show what he does as value, and so you'd be proud of Max.
Absolutely. I was there for when we had his opening for the chamber, and it brings me great joy to see how someone who is putting forth a great effort to produce a product for the community, to provide a service.
Great service, yeah.
He puts his passion into that, and it has grown into what it is now because he's paid attention. He's doing the thing.
Going off that then, what does, for you as Ken Ross chair, what does a successful event look like for you? How would you characterize it?
For me, the chamber is all about fostering growth of its membership, helping the membership understand the chamber is only as good as the members and their level of participation. I want to see that fostered even more in this event. I feel like we have quite an opportunity to reach some of my goals this year, and I've talked about some of those things. I don't know how much I've said on tape, but I'm going to say it. We want to double membership this year. And one of the reasons why I feel like we can actually achieve that is I feel like we are in an opportunity to grow this area. And you can see the growth in the openings that we have in an event like the State of South Dade and the level of effort we're putting towards raising the bar in that. So I encourage everyone, if you own a business, if you want to help grow this community, you should really be a part of the chamber, and you should really participate and want to be a part of it. That's what I want to see as a success.
And again, if you want some of this energy, the QR code is right over here. Well, look at that.
You did it.
I did it. The QR code's there. Register for the event. Our information's on the bottom, February 29th at 8 a.m. at the Moss Center. Okay, so I'm going to run down. We got a little bit of time left. I'm going to go down some facts that you almost took away there, Lisa.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. We're going to go on some facts here that could impress potential businesses and investors. South Dade has a population of 600,000 plus. That number is from about a year and a half ago.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely bigger than that.
We've got 5 municipalities. We have a whole bunch of unincorporated Miami-Dade, 2 national parks, home of what we were talking about earlier, home of the other Miami. Gateway to the Keys, home of the Homestead Air Base, 2 airports. Believe it or not, we have 2 airports in our service area. We are certainly the agricultural center of Miami-Dade and probably all of South Florida, and on and on and on and on.
You missed the super speedway, by the way.
Look at you! Wow.
I live right by it, so
we got
had
to
to
start this over. I can't leave that. That's no good. We got the Speedway.
You got the Speedway. You've got we are the wedding capital, winter wedding capital with all of our event venues that are out here. They're beautiful.
All the agritourism.
All the agritourism and agri
amazing.
venues that are out there. It's the place to be.
Just on agritourism alone, we could do a whole show. We have, obviously, we can just talk about that. The challenges, because it's a relatively new industry, but we're on the forefront. And I'd like to say a lot of things that happen in the state happen here first. And I think we're going to see a lot of rulemaking, lawmaking being made on the experience that's happening here. Yeah. So, but what else? I mean, just on the population alone, the 2 national parks, how can an investor not be impressed by this?
There's just so much potential down here. I don't know how you cannot be impressed by it, except that people think of Miami, they think of Miami proper. They think of Miami Beach. You mentioned it. We are the other Miami. And in your chat with the chair yesterday, we were talking with the town of Cutler Bay about the experiences of residents. You can take care of anything that you need in South Miami-Dade. You don't have to travel, but for the wanting to travel. You don't really have to travel out of Miami-Dade, out of South Miami-Dade, and yet Miami's right there. So it's such a gem what we have. There's no excuses for not taking an interest in South Miami-Dade.
I hesitate to go through some of the things that I know that the cities are doing because I might leave something out, and I don't want to offend anybody and get a call.
Right.
But between all of them investing in green space, between all of them doing refunctioning of buildings and of spaces, all of them are doing that. it's exciting things.
I'll add to that. And one of the investments that we talked about that this area is really looking into, and they talked about this at State of South Dade a couple of years ago, is the rapid transit line. It's planned to be open hopefully soon.
Did I not prepare?
You didn't mention it, but that we have so many things to choose from, Rich. I'm not expecting you to remember it. I don't remember all of it either. It just comes up as time goes along. We have a very exciting opportunity here to see a city grow. Right, I'm reminded of some of my own travels. I traveled to New York, and I actually happened to visit all 5 boroughs in my trip to New York. It was like a 10-day trip, and I fell in love with Coney Island.
Really?
Of all places, right? But one of the reasons why I love Miami-Dade and this county is I feel like we're kind of like a baby New York. That's what a lot of folks tell me as I moved here and as I've experienced here, and it still has that same feel to me of a Coney Island in the sense that you could be a smaller community and you still could go to Manhattan if you wanted. You could you're in Brooklyn. Brooklyn was a town in of itself before it was part of.
Well, to Lisa's point, you can go.
You can do all,
but you don't have to. Increasingly, it's getting more like that. You don't have to.
Yeah. So that's exciting to me. That's why I want to continue to help a community and see business owners invest in the right things.
Man, I left out the education. Miami-Dade College is there. FIU is present. has a large presence down here. Even University of Florida with the ag has a presence here. I'm going to stop. Yeah, I'm going to stop because it's just.
Well, we haven't even talked about the Keys, but that's Monroe County.
Yeah,
so we'll leave that.
Let them do their own.
Let them do their own thing.
So one last thing then before we sign off, I want to thank you both for your time. As a realtor, this is a place. This is an event that we certainly need to go to because we need to talk about the areas where we're trying to attract people to move down to, people to invest in. What comes first, the homes or the businesses? What drives that from a banker perspective?
Well, from a banker's perspective, I'd love to see the businesses come first and the homes to follow so that you've got the workforce. We tend to do things a little bit differently here, as you can see, because we've got such a need for housing and occupancy and affordable housing. But I'd love to see, as a banker, I'd love to see a better balance of that, but I don't think we ever get that balance.
Right.
We always seem to be playing catch up. But to the credit of our leadership, they're very much aware of it. You know, it's not something that there's blinders on. We're very much aware of the need to create sustainable, resilient jobs down here so that we can kind of we'll never eliminate the traffic congestion, but if we can minimize it some and have people enjoy more of their South Miami-Dade in all aspects of their lives, then we've increased the quality of life.
And between the BRT that you mentioned, Ken, and the bringing down of places to go shopping, places to go eat, that traffic doesn't have to go as far north. I am grateful for the time that you guys have extended to us. Ken, one last word from you, a parting word from you?
Well, I am truly pleased to be your chair for the chamber, right? I feel like this is family for me, and I don't even know what to say. I'm very excited. I'm looking very much forward to the rest of this year. I want to serve the best I can this community in this position, and I feel like this is one of those moments for me I want to take full advantage of. So thank you for giving us this opportunity.
No, thank you. And the EDC's role with trying to work in partnership with Beacon Council and with other economic development groups, I think the event is just another.
This speaks to what we do. We are connectors. We are facilitators. We don't have all the answers, but boy, we know people.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So we pull people together, and I just got to say I'm very proud of Ken and his leadership with the chamber. He's, done exactly what he said he was going to do, and
we're very happy. So again, thank you both very much. Thank you all for your time. Remember the QR code over my left shoulder, I believe, the information. The event is the State of South Dade, Thursday, February 29th, 8 a.m. The doors open, 8:30 breakfast. The agenda starts at 9 o'clock. It is all of the municipal county leaders, decision makers in the area that you live or that you want to live or you want to invest in. You need to be there. Thursday, 29th, Moss Center in Cutler Bay. We hope to see you there. Thank you for the time.